Most agent demos test one lucky path. A user asks for a refund. The model calls a CRM tool. The tool returns a customer record. The agent writes back, "Done." Green check. Then the trace opens. The policy document was never checked. The customer tier was missing. The memory entry came from last month. The tool result was treated like proof. The answer looked confident because the path looked clean. That is the trap. A demo shows one path. Principles control the loop. An AI agent is not an LLM with tools attached. A plain model answers a prompt. An agent runs a loop. It carries a goal. It keeps state. It chooses an action. It observes what happened. Then it decides whether to continue, stop, ask for help, or repair the plan. That loop is the system. The model matters. But the loop decides what the model sees, what it can do, and how the world pushes back. If the loop is sloppy, a stronger model only fails with more confidence. The request is not the goal. The request is raw material. A user might say, "Refund this customer and update the CRM." That sounds clear until the agent has to act. Which customer? Which policy? What counts as approved? When should it stop? When should it escalate? A principal agent turns the request into a goal contract. Goal: process a valid refund. Constraints: use the customer record in the refund policy. Success condition: refund confirmed. CRM updated. Explanation returned. Stop rule: stop when the side effects are verified. Escalation rule: ask a human when policy or identity is unclear. Without that contract, the loop optimizes the latest message it sees. With the contract, the loop has something to finish. The agent does not see reality. It sees the state you carry forward. That state may include the user request, tool results, retrieved documents, memory, intermediate notes, failed attempts, and system rules. Only some of that should reach the next model call. This is where many agents quietly break. They keep too much. They drop the original goal. They mix stale memory with fresh evidence. They let tool noise crowd out the thing the user actually asked for. State is not a transcript dump. State is the working picture the model uses to choose the next step. If that picture is wrong, the next action can be perfectly reasoned and still wrong. A tool is not a magic ability. It is a controlled opening into the world. The model should not directly refund money, send emails, delete files, or update records. It should propose a tool call. The tool registry checks the name. It checks the arguments. It checks the permission boundary. It knows what failure looks like. Then the tool returns an observation, not the truth, an observation. That difference matters. A tool can fail. An API can return partial data. A search result can be irrelevant. A browser step can click the wrong thing. A principled agent treats the world as something to observe, not something to believe blindly. Memory is what the agent can carry across time. Retrieval is evidence pulled for this task. Working state is what the next model call actually sees. Those are three different layers. When they blur together, agents start to believe old context as if it were current proof. A preference from last month becomes evidence for today's refund. A retrieved document becomes permanent memory without permission. A scratch note becomes a fact. That is how a loop gets haunted by its own history. The fix is simple to say and hard to enforce. Memory stores durable facts. Retrieval brings in external evidence. Working state selects what matters right now. The agent should know which layer every piece of information came from. A run should leave a trace, not just the final answer. The trace should show the goal, state, model decision, tool call, observation, side effect, and stop reason. Then the trace can be judged. Did the agent check the policy? Did it verify the refund? Did it update the CRM? Did it explain what changed? Did it stop for the right reason? This is where evals enter the picture. An eval is not a vibe check on the final paragraph. It is a test of the loop's behavior. A good-looking answer can fail if the side effect was wrong. A messy-looking run can pass if it escalated before doing damage. Feedback is what turns a clever loop into a system you can improve. Now run the same task again. The task enters with a goal contract. The state selector keeps the policy, customer record, and stop rule visible. The model proposes a refund action. The tool registry validates the arguments and permission. The refund tool returns an observation. The CRM update returns a second observation. Memory stores only what should persist. Retrieval stays attached as evidence, not as a belief. The trace records every step. The eval gate checks the result against the contract. This time, the green check means something. Not because the model sounded right, because the loop produced evidence. The model is only one part of the agent. The loop is the product. Once you see the loop, the next question gets stranger. What happens when agents are not just working inside one private session? What happens when they read a public feed, post back, and become inputs to each other? That is why Moltbook is worth studying. It makes the agent internet visible. One agent loop is already hard to control. A shared space full of agent loops creates a new system. Next, we will take this same loop outside the box.